Welcome into Rover Sports, everybody. How is everyone doing? I am joined by a very special guest. It is Lance and Jasper. I wanted to get you on last week, but we are going to talk now about Florida and Georgia. And Lance and Jasper, he knows about as much Gator football as anybody. He's a good friend of mine. Lance, we've been trying to get this set up for a little bit of time now. How are you? What is on your mind today?
Oh, I'm doing well. But I got to tell you, I'm sick of the notion that Georgia's going to run away with the SEC this year, and Florida don't even belong in the conversation. Well, there's a conversation to be had because I keep hearing about players for Georgia, but nobody's giving me any damn names yet. It ain't about paper dolls and recruiting. It's about production, and they lost all of their production.
Right. So what guys specifically do you look at on Georgia? Like, what guys did they lose that you think are going to be big hurts for them this year?
It ain't, well, when you lose your leadership and running the ball, I mean, that's what carried them. Do you realize they were 106 in the nation in passing last year? The Florida Gators finished ahead of Georgia in passing offense last year. So you don't have them running backs to lead on this year. That changes your whole identity. And when Jay Tom, he had it made last year. He knew he wasn't going to get pulled. But when you got Justin Fields looking over your shoulder, can he play with that kind of pressure? Is he worried about making mistakes? Is he looking over his shoulder? We don't know yet, but we do know this. They don't have the running backs to carry the ball like they have for years, and you ain't going to have the liability to hand it off to a guy 200 times. But their leading rusher coming back has 51 attempts. You ain't going to dial up the pace from 51 to 200 and expect a healthy season. Hell, when was the last time you seen a Georgia running back have a healthy year? I ain't seen one in 15, 20 years.
Right. So Lance, I wanted to say, a lot of Georgia fans they're going to be talking about last year. Can you address last year? And is this a totally different team? Is Dan Mullen going to be so different? Do you think last year was just a product of the players just mentally being fatigued?
Well, when you look, it's one thing to have injuries during the season, but when you start the year with 10 suspended players and then you add on injuries, you can barely hold a practice. You can't even run a normal practice. You can't compete like you're supposed to. But that ain't the problem, man. You lost Antonio Callaway and Jordan Scarlett. That was 75% of your offense. That was your point. And you're starting a true freshman quarterback or a redshirt freshman in Quickie Frank. You're only as good as the people around you. Florida wasn't very good around the kid. But, man, once you got to the LSU game and the Texas A&M game and you lost by a combined of 3 points, that's when Gator Nation folded the tent on Jim McElwain because his first 2 years before that, he was excellent in close games. The one-score games, I think it was 9-2, something like that, maybe 9-1. And then to lose those back-to-back, Gator Nation gave up. He knew he was fired before the Georgia game, and he got fired. Clark Strickland and him had a riff after the Iowa game. It had nothing to do with the final score at Georgia. Jim McElwain was getting fired regardless of what he did last year, barring an SEC championship.
So Lance, I have the Florida Gators depth chart pulled up, and I'm going to go ahead and memorize this depth chart pretty soon myself, just to get reacquainted with all the guys. But I want you to talk about the running backs of the Florida Gators with P. Ryan, with Jordan Scarlett. You mentioned another running back that you thought was going to have 10 touchdowns. So tell us about this running back class and how you think that it compares to Georgia's running backs.
Well, what I was saying is people want to dog let's just start at the top, then we'll get done there. Malik Davis got cleared to come back. He was one of the best running backs in the SEC last year. Gene Chizik was high on this guy. He said it was his favorite running back in the SEC. But just look at the production of Malik Davis before he went down. We lost our identity when he was down. But when you got somebody like him backing up with Jerry Slimmons, who's a home run threat, every time he touches a ball, and you got Jordan Scarlett, who's violent. The yards after contact is ridiculous with Jordan Scarlett. Coming back with fresh legs after a year's suspension. That's just three. And when your third and fourth offensive P. Ryan, who had 9 touchdowns in 11 games last year, that's a pretty good stable. It's deeper than Georgia's, and I would give Florida the edge over Georgia in that.
Right on.
And we ain't even talked about Augustine Clement or Damian Pierce, surprise recruits. And it's ridiculous how deep the stable is at Florida at running back, man.
No, it's absolutely incredible. Like these, it looks like it's even 5 deep. at Florida.
Damian Pierce was the number 7 running back in Georgia, out of Georgia. He carried the ball for 4 years, never fumbled. He's an SEC running back. He's a fourth-quarter nightmare. He will hurt you. It's a business decision when you tackle this kid, son. You got to get your ass in the weight room before these safeties and nickels come down trying to tackle these running backs from the Florida Gators. I'll tell you that right now. Get your ass in the weight room, Georgia. You're going to need it.
So Lance, how many running backs is Dan Mullen going to trot out this year? Like literally, how many guys are going to touch the ball during games?
But to me, it would be ridiculous to use any more than 3, and you really want to use 2, with maybe the third one having something different, kind of like a, I don't want to say a gadget player, I hate using that word, but somebody can do something different, like Iverson Clement, who can line up his slot, posting in on the backfield. Maybe he can catch or something like that, because you got the power guys with a Scarlett, and Malik Davis, he's shifty and a natural runner, man, just a natural runner. You can't teach what he has.
So
press the hole out. Take it up the field. I mean, you've seen it. He's got the home run speed. You've seen it against Tennessee. He didn't finish the run, but you've seen the speed. It's there. He's SEC qualified.
What do you think about Georgia's running backs? I mean, you have DeAndre Swift and I think Nicole Hardman. He can be a running back kind of like out of the backfield, but it's really predicated on DeAndre Swift, I believe, this year.
I know you got Swift, but again, 51 carries is all he had last year. You lost Sonny Michel and Nick Chubb. They averaged for over 350 carries last year combined. You don't have that production coming back. And I know they've recruited well, but the number 1 running back in the nation they've recruited, Zamir White, is hurt. He's out. Now, they did get James Cook, but I ain't heard a Georgia fan yet mention his name, so why would I expect him to have big things? And I understand Evander Holyfield's got pops, but you don't run with your damn arms. You run with your legs. I mean, they don't. What if Swift goes down? Then what are you doing? To me, they just don't have the depth, the production coming back. And you're going to have to change your identity. Because like I told you, you can't expect that kid to have them back. You can't lean on that kid handed off to 200 times this year. And Jake Fromm was 106 in the nation in passing efficiency last year. The Georgia offense passing. 106 in the nation. The Florida Gators were better than that. I mean, that's a joke. So you're going to have to change your identity because they win the same way they lost last year because they don't have the same roster. It ain't even close. And everybody keeps telling me about recruits, but nobody can name the damn players. Tell me this, bro. The first recruiting class far had. Number 3 in the nation. Right?
Yeah, yes.
Pretty sure that's right. So, how many players out of that class do you think produced last year for him?
For who? Excuse me.
Kirby Smart, out of his class. How many players do you think actually played out of his first draft class?
Well, I mean, they had Nate McBride, but he didn't play. LeCount, Gibbs, all the guys in the secondary did not play.
Tell me who produced. I don't want to hear about the paper dolls. I want to hear about the guys that produced.
Yeah, they didn't have it. They didn't need they didn't need anybody to produce.
It don't make a damn. That just tells you they're not developed. So how can you count on them guys this year when they're not developed because they ain't been in the damn game yet? That's my whole point. They had 4 guys contribute out of that class. You need more than that. You realize they lost all 4 of their starting linebackers? They're secondary suspects. Did you see the way the national championship ended? Did you see the Tennessee game the year before? Their secondary is suspect. And they lost everybody. I mean, they got the Baker kid coming back, but they ain't got what Florida's got. C.J. Henderson, Marco Wilson, Chauncey Gardner Jr. at nickel, the pick 6 click. Are you kidding me, son? There's no comparison.
Yeah, I mean, even Missouri was able to hit Georgia pretty good in the first half, and Oklahoma was able to get to Georgia. Although, like, Georgia's defense did play great against Notre Dame, against Kentucky, against South Carolina, but there wasn't a lot of elite-level quarterbacks in the SEC.
In the fourth quarter, Brian Kelly was playing like he was on the he was coaching like he was on the road against Georgia. Are you kidding me? That was a coach choking like he's done so many damn years at Notre Dame. They need a new coach. That kid's a choke artist. Just like Lincoln Riley. Did you see the overtime against Georgia? I mean, Georgia kicks a field goal, and 3 times, and you need a touchdown to win. Heisman Trophy quarterback, and all you do is run the ball 3 straight times. I'd have fired his ass on the spot. Matter of fact, if I was Lincoln Riley and I choked like that on the national championship tape, you wouldn't have to fire me. I would quit my damn job.
Even though he took over for Bob Stoops and they won the Big 12 already.
Yeah, and guess what? Same formula. Oklahoma in the big game.
Jake Fromm played well in that game, but Oklahoma's defense is a Big 12 defense, and yes.
So you tell me, do you not worry about Georgia finding a new identity? Which I just told you the stats. They finished 9th in the nation in rushing, 106 in passing. They don't have the personnel to do that again and win again. Ain't you a little bit worried about Jake Fromm having to step up this year?
Yeah, and they also lost Isaiah Wynn to the Patriots. I think a guard that was very good for them. That's going to try to play tackle in the NFL. And Jake Fromm, to be quite honest, I mean he's a game manager at quarterback. Like he's a guy that honestly is not asked to do that much. His arm strength is not even elite by any means, pretty mediocre. From and he's just asked to not turn the ball over. He did make some clutch plays, but to me, he is like Jalen Hurts. And in fact, if you asked any NFL scout or most NFL guys, they would even take Jacob Eason over Jake Fromm for the NFL level.
Well, that's all based on arm talent, and I agree with everything you just said about Jake Fromm. You take all you just said, and you know that he ain't going to be able to have that same recipe. He's going to have to step up this year. And think about this. Everybody in the stadium, when Georgia takes the field, everybody in the stadium, everybody in the nation, everybody on the globe is going to know he's not the best quarterback on the field. I mean, he ain't even the best quarterback in the stands. On the sideline, Justin Fields, he's going to be looking over his shoulder, man. He ain't the guy. That's going to cause some problems. How does Kirby's going to handle that? He never had a problem like this. Jacob Eason got hurt. That was easy.
Mm-hmm. You're right, and when you look at Georgia though, and you look at this team coming into this year, do you think South Carolina can beat Georgia? You think they could slip up a little bit?
No, I wouldn't pick South Carolina to beat Georgia. I'm not going that far. But I will say, with everything I just said, that is a tough team to play week 2 when you're still trying to find your identity on offense and you lost all your secondary. You're replacing all four of your starting linebackers, and your defensive line really don't have the depth. I mean, they got better. So who are you counting on after that? Somebody give me a name, because I ain't heard one yet. And how do you replace 4 starting linebackers and pray to God nobody gets hurt? I mean, that is a lot to ask for. I don't care how well you recruited. You don't plug that in, son. Not in the SEC. You know it, I know it. But everybody just wants to sleep on they recruited well. Recruiting's fine. I need production. They do not have production.
Right. So this Florida team,
Hey, hold on. Don't everybody say we need to reevaluate this class in 3 years. Except everybody says we'll go back and reevaluate in 3 years. We'll know more about this class. Well, I ain't seen no damn production out of Georgia's class yet. 4 players out of the number 3 class in the nation contributing just simply ain't enough for my liking. How many players are you going to get this year contribute?
Right.
The big question nobody can answer, and until it's answered, Florida belongs in the conversation.
Nobody can answer. They just trust Kirby Smart. They trust the dominance that Georgia had on the SEC East last year. You know, beating Tennessee, beating South Carolina, nearly going undefeated, beating Auburn in the SEC title game, playing very, very well with Roquan, with guys like Ledbetter playing incredibly well. Their team was stacked on, Lorenzo Carter, all the linebackers. He took a 7-win team and had a tremendous year. They were on the doorstep of a national championship. And people just look at Florida and they look at it being a dumpster fire right now with Dan Mullen taking over. They're looking at Coach Mullen and they think it's going to take a couple of years.
Well, that's ridiculous, man, because people don't understand the talent on this team. I just told you, man. We're more talented than Georgia at every position group besides maybe quarterback and offensive line. The Florida Gators are more talented at every damn position group. Nobody's gave me any players to battle me yet. Nobody can do it.
How about the linebackers? How about your defense?
My defense. Talk about C.J. Henderson and Marco Wilson and Chauncey Gardner. That is the best cornerback nickel combination in America. Every magazine you open's got them number one. And I'm not a magazine guy, but at least they got something right for once. And, man, you want to talk about our linebackers? Middle linebacker, David Reese. 103 tackles in 11 games. And he played hurt, son. I mean, come on. And you talk about the defensive line. C.C. Jefferson, Samar Zuniga, Daryl Slatton coming back in the defensive tackle. This guy's 6'4", 350. He's ready to step up. He's learned the technique. He ain't just relying on his strength. Dan Mullen with a fire under his ass. He's ready to roll. Sal Sunseri on the defensive line coach. That's an upgrade. Todd Grantham, blitz and style with the two best corners in America. Are you kidding me? The 3-4 is a game changer for the Florida Gators, man. Nobody can compare with this defense. I'm not sure Georgia ain't got the players we got on defense to compete with the Florida Gators. Talk about it. Defense wins championships in the SEC, and Georgia don't have the players we got on defense. Everybody keeps talking about they do, but I ain't heard no damn names that compare with the guys I just gave.
Lance, incredible stuff, man. I actually have to run right now. Look forward to even chatting more about the SEC and more about Florida as we go through the summer. I was glad we were able to record this, Lance. You're the best, man. Lance and Jasper, thank you so much for coming on the program.
All this money, man.